Hello everyone, this is a video guide for Lana's Book of Sorcery and Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. The purpose of this video guide is to showcase and explain some of Lana's tools for various situations you may come across in the game. Some of these situations are dealing with normal officers and how you can juggle them or break their weak point gauge. Other situations that you will come across will be fighting character officers, such as Link or Zelda. And another common scenario that you might come across are fighting multiple officers at the same time. This can include a mix of normal officers and a mix of normal and character officers. This guide will be formatted using these different scenarios and how you approach them. To start with, I will explain some basic terminology. In the Warriors games, they use what is called the C notation that stands for different combo attacks. So if you're using Warriors controls, it would be something like YX, which would be C2, and if I use the term C2-2, that would be the second hit of C2. So if a move has more than one hit to it, I will be using this notation to explain what I mean. And in this video, I will also be using the C1 notation quite a lot. This is the gimmick of the weapon. Lana will dash forward, and when you have a wall that she comes in contact with that you can summon, she will shatter it. One other thing that I will not be covering outside the intro of this video that you might see periodically throughout the video is using Lana's C1 and then dodge canceling it. This is because it is believed that if you use Lana's C1 and then dodge cancel it and repeat this constantly, it will provide a faster form of movement. Unfortunately, I have no hard evidence to prove or disprove this, but many high-level players use it to get around the maps more quickly. One last thing to cover in the intro before we begin the guide is that among players who have been optimizing weapons in Hyrule Warriors for the last 10 years, Lana's book is considered an average to slightly above average weapon for the average combo damage it provides and the average zoning capabilities that it has. The only area that this weapon truly specializes in is giant boss killing, which I will cover towards the end of the video. With all that said, let's begin the video. To begin the guide, I will explain Lana's crowd clearing tools. Lana's two best tools are C2-2 and C4-2 and C4-3 when all detonated by C1. C4-3 is where you send the walls forward, dash cancel it, and then press C1 to detonate them. This is also the only practical use that C5 has in Lana's kit, as it is too slow to be used as a combo ender or threatening tool in her kit. You can also detonate this with C1 to make it do slightly more damage compared to her other ones. If you are using hasty attacks on book, be aware that you will use C2-2 when detonated with C1 more often than you will use C4-3. The reason for this is because the sped up hitboxes on C4-3 will be more difficult to land as a result. In this section I will explain how Lana's juggles work, their damage, and the importance of juggling. In Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, the ability to have extended juggles is very important as it increases your damage output, and you don't have to wait around for your target to act and break weak point gauge. So, for Lana's extended combo, what you will do is you will do C2-1 to launch them, then you will do a C4-2, which is where the three walls pop up, and then you will do that a second time, so the combo will be C2-1, C4-2, C4-2. And then after that, you have the option of doing C4-3 to push them forward, and then dash cancel, and then detonate it with a C1. Or, as I show here, you can just detonate it instantly after the second C4-2 with C1. This will cover all of the opponent's get-up options, including the faster recovering officers like Dynamos. Now, these juggles will not work on character officers as they have different properties when it comes to recovering and also when it comes to juggling, and I will cover that in the next segment. In this segment coming up, I will also show why C5 is pretty useless as a combo ender, and this is just simply because it is way too slow. And if you were to attempt a second C4-2 and then do C5 after that, it has a tendency to launch targets far out due to the knockback scaling mechanic in the game. If you juggle a target too long and they do not touch the ground, then they will be sent flying farther the more you juggle them. So after a certain point, they must recover and stay on the ground in order to reset the knockback scale. You will be able to see this on the Poe and on the Hylian Captain in this segment. No matter whether you use hasty attacks or not on Lana's book, her optimal combo will always be the same. C2-1, C4-2, C4-2, C1. Lana's combo damage ranges between 15,000 and 17,000. 17,000 is the average for most of the cast with their full optimal combo. Unlike a lot of other characters, Lana does not want to use a special attack as a combo ender attack on more damage, as the enemy will often get launched out of it. If you are fighting a Moblin, Moblins have unique armor mechanics in the air, where they will armor through every other hit landed on them. So this makes Lana's combo ineffective against them. However, she does have an alternative option. She has a C2-1 loop, where she will launch them C2-1, and then if you do it again, the C1 that you placed first will detonate and launch them upwards again. This can do upwards of about 15,000 damage on them, helping fill Lana's lacking combo game against them. In this segment, I will explain Lana's special attack. Lana Book has one of the most powerful special attacks in the entire game, but it depends entirely on your target's positioning. In order to get maximum damage, you need to hit them in the center of the special attack, so that way more shards of her walls, when they shatter, will hit. You will be able to see a slight damage difference between the two Hylian captains right here. Here I will go over Lana's character officer tools. I'm fighting against Link, who has the fastest recovery time alongside other hero character officers such as Zelda. This is also on the highest difficulty, meaning he has the fastest recovery speed available to him. I am using C3-2, C3-2 loops here, which are guaranteed and a true combo against character officers. You can also end it with a special there. C3-2 is also fast enough to the point where it cannot be blocked by character officers, so if weak point gauge is exposed by the character officer, you can use C3-2 and launch them directly into a weak point smash. C2-1 can also be used as a launcher and break weak point gauge with 2 hits of pure attack strike. In this segment, I will cover what is known in the community as multiple officer scenarios. In this situation, you will often be facing down multiple character officers and or normal officers. In this section, Lana has a few good zoning tools, though she noticeably has a lack of damage compared to something like, say, Rudo C1 or Hylian Sword C5. In this section, you can use C2-1 and C2-2 as launchers or walls to stop advancing targets and allow you to control space a little bit, while you also zone with C4-3 or C3-2. C3-2 will allow you to launch targets and even get full juggles on them, provided they are a normal officer and one that is not a mob. If you happen to catch a character officer with your C3-2, you can also use another C3-2 to loop them as well. The importance of C3-2 is that having a ranged launcher in this game is extremely good, as you'll be able to launch targets at you from a distance. And Lana's C2-1 is also unique to her in that it will be a lingering launcher so long as it is active. And you can even execute a C3-2 on a character officer after catching them with it, or even a full combo on a normal officer after catching them, provided it's also not a Moblin. This gives Lana extremely strong zoning potential, but at the same time, due to how her launchers work, she requires multiple hits to get full damage off. If you have a C2 lingering, you can also detonate that with C1 as well to launch targets back and even kill them outright. You may also notice here that Lana's C4-3 is having issues breaking weak point gauge on this one big one, and that is because he is not being dragged along with the multiple hits of C4-3, which is where all the damage is. Despite lacking the damage of something like Hylian Source C3 or Rudo C1, Lana does have a versatile and effective range game, especially with her C3 too. In this last segment, I will cover how Lana Book deals with giant bosses. Lana Book is blessed with some of the most powerful giant boss killing in the entire game. It is the same option across every single giant boss and is consistent for every single giant boss. She has no problem downing all 8 giant bosses using this same strategy. The strategy is place a C4-2 on the boss and place another C4-2. What will happen is all 6 walls will detonate, dealing tremendous damage and shredding the weak point gauge in one cycle. You will be able to see it on every single giant boss throughout the rest of this video. And with that, that will conclude the video. Lana's book was an interesting weapon to cover for my first Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition guide in forever. I hope you found the guide very helpful, and hopefully it will be useful for you in the future. Thank you so much for watching.